Hey, Tubes. It's a little windy today, so I'll try to keep my back to the wind, but I'm down here. Me and Mike stopped up here to my buddy Rob's house, the machinist. He's working on something. We'll go over and see what he's working on. Mike is already there, but I got my metal detector here, and I'm going to detect around the house here. This house here is from the 1750s or something. 260 something years older, but I'm gonna do some metal detecting, and then these guys are gonna bullshit and talk. Here we are. What are we working on now, Rob?
We're doing a flywheel fix on a 3 or 4 horse Foos engine flywheel. It's got a crack on the top of the spoke here, and we're gonna do a little repair. We're gonna bury that Allen bolt down inside there, so that'll hold the two pieces together. This isn't going to be under a lot of stress.
Right.
It's just got to sit there and idle and show. So we'll put a plug in the top so no one can see that there's a bolt in there, and I'll dress it off. And the guy's going to restore the engine. So when I'm done, nobody will tell.
Be safer than if it just had a weld on there.
Yeah, no, you don't really want to weld flywheels. That's a no-no. Better off doing some kind of mechanical pin or lace type repair. You know, and if this was, highly stressed, where they were seriously going to do something, then we might not do this. We might say, go get another wheel cast.
Yeah. Well, big wheels like this, they don't rotate that fast anyway, right?
No, I mean they're probably, it could be 350 or so.
Yeah, that's really nothing.
So it's not too bad, but it's going to idle probably 150. It's just got to sit there and go around, so for show engine. Anyway, I'm gonna go get a counterbore. Okay, we're going to put a counterbore in the top of the hole now here, so when the Allen bolt gets buried in there, the counterbore's for the Allen bolt, but we make it deeper than normal. We're going to put a cast iron plug in top, so the metal's the same, and we're going to file it off to the radius there, and hopefully no one will be able to tell when I'm done dressing off. There might be a fine line around there, but somebody's got to get their magnifying lens out to see that we did the repair.
What is that, cast iron, Rob?
It's cast iron, so you cut it dry, otherwise the lubricant falls the little fine chips up and jams things up on you.
Yeah, a lot of people think you got to oil everything, but
nope, not cast iron. Although if you're tapping it, you can use seltzer water. It actually is an old-timey machine shop thing from the 1890s, and it does work well.
Don't give away your secrets.
Yeah,
everybody will be doing it.
I'm gonna start charging 10 cents a secret.
All right. All right, what are you doing now, Rob?
All right, well, we're going to put the Allen bolt in. We're going to put a little Loctite on there, so make sure it stays put. So this is where we dump it all over the floor because the end of the nozzle thing is plugged up.
Oh,
it's been
man.
around for years. There's enough Loctite in there.
I got enough haters. You don't want any.
Now I'm new to this.
Oh.
So I'm going to put that bolt in there like so. Got to give it a bit of a Yutz tighten here. And there we go. Now we just bolted across the crack, and that should be good for another 100 to 1,000 years.
It's going to outlast all of us. That's all that matters.
Yeah, well, put it this way, it'll still be in good shape when people decide the engines are junk and they send them all to the scrapyard. If anybody even remembers what they were by that time.
When they can't buy fossil fuel to run them.
Yeah, it don't make no difference.
All right. Now what are you going to do, plug it?
We're going to make a plug up for it, and we'll pound that in and dress that off, so that'll be next segment, I guess.
Okay.
Just to make my outside diameter of my cast iron plug.
What kind of bore you call that?
Counterbore.
Oh, counterbore, okay.
In other words, counterbore is just a larger diameter hole. It doesn't go the full length, and it makes a step in there and use them for cap screws and lots of other applications. But it's just basically a 2 diameter hole with a shoulder someplace in it. So what we're doing here is we want to get a good approximation of You know, it kind of acts as a drill, so it's not perfectly round. So we'll get something that's pretty close. We'll measure in a couple different spots and pick a size with a valve or so press fit. So that's like 788. About 790. About this way too.
Then we just take an average?
Yeah, you take kind of an average, so all it's got to do is go in there and stay. 791. So we're going to call it 790 diameter plug.
What's this machine here you're using to cut that and bore that hole with?
Alright, this is a Cincinnati Bickford made radial drill press, which means the head and the column all move. Very handy. This is where a lot of bigger drill presses are made this way, but knock the locks off. But you can position things all over the place. You can work off the table. You can work on the side. This machine's been here since about 1970. Actually, my father and grandfather used to be partners in this back in the day. Grandfather bought my father out. But it's actually a fairly small one as far as radial drills go, but very handy machine. You know?
I know. I was telling Mike when I walked in. I said, look how it's bolted up to the side there.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
You know, so you know, you can actually bore holes with this. It's got slow feeds, and you know, you could do some tapping. The biggest tap I ever ran was a 2-inch pipe tap, which is pretty much the max this thing will do. You know, so in cast iron, I don't know about steel, but you know, you just got to go slow, and you know, and does its thing. But very handy machine to have.
It is pretty cool. All right, what you got going now, Rob?
All right, now we've made the plug. Just a piece of scrap cast iron laying around, and we're going to Loctite the floor a little more here. Not too bad this time. That's usually the process. Dump some on the floor, put some on the part. Put that in there like so. There, and we plug that. And we'll get a file and start making that look pretty.
It's cutting pretty good, huh, Rob?
Yeah, cast iron's pretty soft. A little bit of an awkward angle of bending over the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna get her close.
Telephone.
Telephone. Let me go see who that is.
All right.
For a call.
Who's that? I'm gonna help him. I gotta help him. He's on the phone.
Help me.
You still on the phone? You're gonna start over again.
Yeah. Here you go. Jeez, now I gotta drill another hole.
Cut another plug.
Look at that.
All right. Best to leave some things to the pros.
Yep. Every once in a while somebody comes in and does this stuff for me too, you know. Sometimes I often ponder, many things are made with a file. What would the pile of iron filings look like of all the stuff that people have made in the world? Would it be like the size of a house?
Oh.
You know,
no.
Everything
Mount Everest.
Filed. You know, iron filings the size of Mount Everest.
I guess you got to think of something when you're working on something and just staring at it all day.
Well, sometimes your mind's your worst enemy.
Yeah. Could have been a body man.
Yeah. One thing is I hate sanding. That's my. And everything about body shop is sanding.
If you're doing that much sanding, you're not doing the body work right.
That's true. Oh, and they've just changed the panel now. Don't fix it.
Yeah, now, and they don't even screw them or bolt them on. Everything is glued.
Glued, yeah. Alright,
there you go.
I want to show the view in public what that looks like.
Yeah, the only reason you can tell the difference there is because of the difference in the metal.
So when the guy polishes up these flywheels and he restores the engine, that's pretty smooth. It'll blend right in.
So. Very cool. So that's how you repair a broken flywheel a proper way, if there is a proper
Well, I don't know
way.
such thing as a proper way for
Yeah.
anything, but that's one way.
Yeah.
So you'd be
All
good
right.
for another 1,000,000 miles.
All right, let's start working on something else. Enough of this.